Hello everyone, Kevin Iverson here. Hope you're all doing well. First thing I want to say is a huge thank you to Jeff. Hope I'm saying your name right. Excuse me. Jeff Mariner or Jeff Mariner. I'm not sure. He sent me this t-shirt. It's a Oasis t-shirt. It's got definitely maybe on the back. And I really love it, mate. Thank you very much for sending me. That's really kind of you. Today's video is all about a comparison between the Boss Blues Driver BD2 standard version and the Boss BD2W, the Watercraft version. My signal chain is my SG. I thought I'd use my SG today. Into the volume pedal, it splits off into the tuner, but then it goes into the Boss BD2W, Boss BD2 standard, the Boss RV6 reverb for a bit of, what have I got it on it? Spring, then out into Blues Breaker. The clean signal is this. Just want to say the music I'm going to be demonstrating these pedals in, kind of like a Britpop mod thing. So if you're into that, you're in the right place. If you want something more heavier, you're going to be disappointed. Now, yeah, I'm going to start with the BD2 standard. I'm going to put a little bit of reverb on, so the reverb's spring reverb. Just a little bit, because I like a bit of reverb. I'm going to demonstrate using my own songs, but I will give you an inkling of, you know, what vibe I'm going for, just so you get an idea of that. The first song I'm going to try is one of my own songs called Running Away, which is kind of like if you're into free bluesy rock, late 60s bluesy rock sort of type stuff. Using the BD2 standard for this first demonstration, and then I'll move over to the BD2W so you can hear it. I'm going to be on the middle selection, so both pickups. Turn the volumes down slightly. It's a bit scratchy. Turn them up a little bit. Cool. So yeah. Now the Boss BD2W. The settings are both the same, by the way. So this is on the standard setting at the moment. The immediate differences that I can hear is that this sounds like a refined version of this. But here's what I'll say, I'll be brutally honest with you. It's like, it's kind of minute, but it's enough that I can really hear it. The settings I've got, by the way, are like, the levels are around 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. Tones are just under 9 o'clock, and the gain is just above 9 o'clock. Keeping the same settings and same sound, I'm going to play another one of my own songs called Every Day. These songs are all on Spotify, iTunes, by the way. I'm just doing it for sort of copyright, you know. Okay. BD2W. You can hear they sound kind of different. I mean, let me just check the settings a minute. Yeah, they're about the same. I've turned the gain slightly up on this. I'm hoping you can hear a difference in YouTube land, and obviously let me know if you prefer one over the other, or if you can notice a difference at all. You could pick one of these up on second hand for probably 40, 50 quid. Brand new, when I bought this, it was about 150 quid. I've not checked the prices or anything at the moment, but you'll find these pop up every now and then. I say, whether it's on Facebook or on eBay or wherever you get your gear from. Even in the if you've got a local music shop to you, they might even have one of these in their cabinet, perhaps, maybe. Next song I'll play is one of my own songs called Had Enough of Missing You, and starting with the BD2 standard, and this is kind of a bit more Staxy, and then after this I'll go on some sort of indie type stuff. BD2W. Again, this sounds a bit warmer. Sounds a bit slightly. Turn the volumes up a little bit. It's one of those things where if you're playing in a pub and it's quite busy and you've got a drummer and a bass player and people talking, are you going to notice a difference? I don't think you will. But I can hear there is a difference. And for me, if I was going to go to a gig, I would take the Wisecraft one out, definitely. Moving on to some more indie stuff, right? And I'm leaving the settings as they are, right? I've got going on the bridge pickup now. I'm going to turn the volume down slightly on the bridge pickup. Turn the gain up a little bit on that. And this is one of my songs called The Ocean, right? BD2 standard. This is the BD2 Wisecraft. As I say, I can hear a difference. It is minute. This sounds kind of warmer. I prefer this. Let's try another song. I've got another song called Dancing in the Sound, right, which is goes like this. I'll tell you what I'm going to go to the middle selection, keep the volume on the bridge pickup up full, I think, and then turn the neck pickup down a little bit. Put some reverb on. You know what? I've gone to the modulated reverb as well for this. BD2W. Again, I feel like the actual drive setting on this sounds a little bit more smoother than that to me. I'm just gonna have a drink, sorry. That sounds smoother, the drive wise. I mean, the thing with me with the blues driver, I really like a blues driver, but there's some gigs I've used it with my Les Paul, and I find the thickness of the Les Paul, and these have kind of got, to me, they've kind of got a more of a closed sound, like like these two. This is the Noble's ODR Mini 2 and the Boss OD3. These have more of an open sound, and I find the blues driver more closed kind of type sound, which, you know, if you're playing if you want a tighter sound, you might want to go with this. If you want something a bit more open and where you can hear the clarity of the strings, you might want to go with one of these other two. But it all depends on the venue and where you're playing. So let's try, I'm just going to go between an E and an A and turn the gain up on these now, right? And this has been on the standard setting. I've not tried this on the custom mode yet, right? So I'm going to turn the gain on both of these up to 12 o'clock. And I'm going to go between, I'll turn the reverb off, just an E and an A. I'm sort of basing it on the song by Paul Weller called Long Time. Oh, bridge pickup, volume full on. BD2W now. Go between them both of them. BD2 standard, BD2W. So for me, I can hear, it's almost like no difference really. It's like, you know, if you had someone there sort of just flicking them both on and off and asking me what's what. So I can hear a difference, but it is minute. So let me, I'm just going to just randomly play with these pedals for a minute, right? So using my song Dancing in the Sound, I'm going to stick some reverb on. Try the BD2 standard. That's the BD2W. Definitely sounds more warmer and it sounds a bit more refined, and I prefer the sound of the gain on this. But you know, if I was using that, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Let me put it on the custom mode for you then, right? I'll play the same song and I'll put it on the custom mode now, so you should be able to hear a difference. Here's the BD2 standard. BD2W with the custom mode. So it's giving it like a bit more warmth and bass, but I kind of now want to turn the tone up a little bit on it, so I'm going to put it to about 11 o'clock. Back to the standard. What do you prefer? Let me know what you prefer in the comments. Can you hear a difference? I think excuse me, my conclusion with these pedals is you can go and buy this for probably 40-50 quid and it's a great pedal. Paul Weller uses it, Kelly Jones uses it, Grant Nicholas uses, he's got one, Steve Craddock, I've seen one on his board, and I mean how those guys use them exactly I'm not 100% sure, but whether they use them as an overdrive or just to boost solos or whatnot. But you know, you can't go wrong with the standards. But I think if you've got the money, if you're a Boss fan and you like the Wazacraft selection of pedals, this does have a different sound. I think because I'm a Boss fanatic, I really wanted the Wazacraft version, and there is a difference, but you know, is it justifiable? You know, there's worse things to spend your money on, you know. But so what I'm going to try now is, because you've got this custom mode where it gives you a bit more bass, I'm going to try using this now as a boost. I'm going to turn the gain all the way off. I'm going to put the level about 1 o'clock, and I'm going to leave the standard where it is, right? So we've got our, I'll just play some basic. I'll play from the E and the A again. So I'm now on the bridge pickup, the volume's full on. So I'm now turning the BD2W on, and it's working as a boost, punching into the BD2 standard. Sometimes when you put an overdrive through another overdrive, I find it sometimes, depending on what overdrive you're using, sometimes it can thin the sound out. I mean, usually with boosts, I usually use a boost pedal to boost into it rather than another overdrive, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think I might leave it at that. But you know, the conclusion is like, if you've got the money and you want to spend the money on a kind of a slightly refined version of this, then do it. But if you can't hear a difference, then you can't hear a difference, and you might as well go for this one. But I love Boss pedals. I love how simple they are to use. I say I've got a few videos now where I sort of tell you about why I think this is my #1 overdrive. But if I was to go and do a gig, chances are I'll probably have this on my board and the BD2W on my board. And I'll do another comparison between this and say that, and then maybe I'll try one with this one as well, so you can hear the differences in side by side and all that. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on that. Do you use the Blues Driver? Do you like a Blues Driver? Do you hate a Blues Driver? I've went through a lot of different overdrives, but this for me, whether you play, I think this sounds best with Strats, Tellys, SGs. It sounds nice. If you've got a really thick sounding guitar, I don't know if this is a too close sound for it, like a Les Paul or whatever, but again, it depends on what music you're playing and what tone you want to go for. But hope you've got something out of the video today. Hope you found it interesting. By the time this comes out, I'll be hopefully heading to the airport because I'm going away for a week. And I think this is probably the only video I'm going to be able to do. If I can do another video for the week, I will do. But if not, you might have to wait for a week or so before I'm back to do some more videos. But don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support is always appreciated. I love all your comments. I always love to hear where some of you are tuning in from. Yeah, thanks for all the support, guys, and hopefully there'll be another video, but if not, give it a week or so and I'll be back from the holiday. And look forward to seeing and speaking to you soon. Take it easy, guys. Thanks very much.